I think the key aspects of customer service is really caring and giving genuine hospitality.
Most importantly, people need to understand when they're in the business that they're here to make people happy and they're here to make people comfortable.
It could be a first date where the person ordering the wine is trying to make an impression on their guest, or it could be someone who's going to dinner with a prospective boss and they need to impress the boss.
When you're approaching a table, there's so many things to think about. You know, did they have a great day? Did they have a terrible day? Have they been here before? Have they never been here before?
When they're feeling comfortable, the dialogue is more fluid and more natural.
Because everyone speaks a different language. So sometimes when people might say fruity, they might mean dry, sometimes that means sweet. So really you have to speak a lot of different languages and figure out what they're trying to tell you.
Give us the characteristics of the wine, white, red, wines that you've had in the past that you like, and we'll find something that you're going to enjoy.
So one of my tricks is to find out in advance from my captains or servers what the guest is having. Upon my approach to the table, I might say, I know you're having the pork and the Vinci Grazie, may I make some recommendations, and then give them 3 different styles and 3 different price ranges.
The most important thing that I keep in mind when I go to a table and introduce a wine is the flavor profile. Because telling somebody that, hey, this wine's new, it's from Friuli, it's got Schiappatino in it, it's got Refosco in it, that's probably not going to help them. So I'll say, it does have some red fruit, it does have some spice, it's medium bodied. It's going to go great with that panini.
When you're thinking of a wine and trying to describe it to a guest, I think being in the restaurant setting, the most important thing is describing how it's going to work with the dish.
One of my favorite tips for pairing food and wine is to think about local food with local wines.
So something that is from the same region and works well as a pairing.
You know, Tuscan wine with Bistecca Fiorentina.
Agnolotti from Piedmont with Barbaresco or Barolos.
Younger wines can be easier to pair. They still have a lot of energy, they're very bright and fresh. When they get a little bit more age, they get a little bit more focused. So your window, you have to be a little bit more precise when you're pairing.
Okay, so everyone at the table orders something different. I think you really have to stay clear of distinct styles either way. So you need something that has normally high acid, some fruit, not a lot of tannins.
Champagne works at any point of the meal, any point of the day.
As long as they're talking about what they feel, we should be able to find something great between us.
Important things to tell a guest about a wine once they've already selected the wine and maybe when I'm opening it at the table would be any kind of maybe background story I may know about the producer.
You want to point out the producer name, the vintage, if there's a vineyard, and the place that the wine comes from.
I'll even use my finger to point directly at them because a label can be a little hard to decipher.
It's really a business interaction, which is why that presenting the bottle is so important and the describing of it is important.
At Fiamma, we taste every single bottle before we serve it. We found that it's really beneficial to prevent the guests from getting something that's flawed or corked.
We don't taste the wines at Enoteca unless we suspect that something is very wrong with the wine. It's corked, it's madderized, something I pick up on the nose. We do nose every wine just before pouring it.
Just about every day I have a customer ask about the cork and the cork presentation.
The cork presentation is an interesting thing.
The younger wines, the wines that we're drinking almost every day, you really don't need to examine the cork that closely, and I rarely smell a cork.
I don't smell the cork.
In all of our restaurants, we choose not to present the cork unless it's requested. My philosophy on that is that I don't want to force someone to do something with the cork. And a lot of people don't know what to do with it, so this takes it out of the equation. And if they want it, we have no problem giving them the cork for their keepsakes.
There's a lot of positive experiences. If there's any one dream guest, it would be the guest that is open to experimenting, curious, has a lot of knowledge about what they like and what they don't like, but also lets us have fun with them.
The owner of Stanton Social around the corner brought in 8 friends very late in the evening. Didn't really want to be bothered with having to select everything, and we know each other. He said, Jim, I want to do 3 courses and I want you to match each course. We like red wine. I want to spend $100 on every bottle. Go. That's fun.